as I present on behalf of the Department of Culture and, by extension, the Nevis Cultural Development Foundation, under which the Department of Culture falls. The theme for this morning is cultivating a culture of resilience for a sustainable Nevis. And in the short time allotted, Mr. Sergeant only allotted 10 minutes to me, probably trying to downplay the importance of 𝐂𝐮𝐿 and the role that 𝐂𝐿 plays as the single biggest event on the calendar of Nevis. I will hastily outline the work plan for my department, the 𝐂𝐿 Secretariat. The role of the department. In a nutshell, the role of the 𝐂𝐿 Secretariat is to prepare the island annually for the staging of Nevis's 𝐂𝐿 Festival. That was fittingly dubbed as the Caribbean's greatest summer line by the permanent secretary when he served as the marketing officer for 𝐂𝐿 in 2004. You remember that, Mr. Permanent Secretary? You are the one who said it's the Caribbean's greatest summer line. And you are fooling Randy by telling him otherwise. Now, 𝐂𝐿 is celebrated over the Emancipation Day weekend. It is a 13-day festival that focuses on the island's cultural heritage. And for this year, the dates for 𝐂𝐿 are July 25th until August the 6th. The structure of the department is staffed by 5 employees, namely an executive director who oversees the day-to-day operation of the department, an executive officer, an accounting officer, a marketing officer, and an administrative assistant. Depending on the workload in a given year, workers from other departments are seconded to the department to assist during the peak busy period of June, July, and August. A brief overview of the festival. It is a showcase of the island's art, talent, and culture. It is celebrated annually over the Emancipation Day weekend, July, August. It was conceived in 1974 to preserve the rich cultural heritage of the island, which at that time was experiencing a steady decline to the point where it was on the brink of becoming extinct. The economic benefits that are derived from the festival. Now, I often, when I speak about the importance of 𝐂𝐿, refer to it as a stimulus package given to the island by the Nevis Island Administration. Now, 𝐂𝐿 provides some much-needed economic relief to the island at a time of the year, July, August, when the tourism sector, and by extension, the island's economy are at their lowest. The spin-offs are endless. All of the following benefits from staging the festival: cultural practitioners, musicians, music producers, artists. Excuse me, I lost the page. Artists, calypsonians, craft vendors, food vendors, hotels, guest houses, restaurants, wholesalers, supermarkets, bar shops, grocery shops, beauty salons, clothing stores, fashion designers, car rentals, ferry and water taxi operators, taxi and bus operators, and I'm sure that there are many, many others that you can add. As we shift our attention towards Agenda 2024, this upcoming year will pose a significant challenge for our department. The festival is celebrating its 50th anniversary, and we are expecting a large influx of visitors and returning nationals from the diaspora. The Golden Jubilee celebration of the festival and a homecoming celebration, which is twinned with the 50th anniversary, will attract hundreds, if not thousands, of people to our shores. So what then is the department's work plan for the coming year? 1, upgrading and repairs to our main facilities. The cultural complex, where some renovation will be undertaken by the ministry. The cultural village, where the majority of the work will be concentrated as we seek to increase the size of the performance area, that is the stage, relocate the existing dress rooms, construct 2 or 3 VIP boxes, and extend or increase our bathroom facilities. I'm also aware that the Nevis Island Administration, and by extension the Ministry of Culture and the Nevis Cultural Development Foundation, will also be looking to do some much needed work at the Nevis Performing Arts Center as they prepare for some major productions at that facility during 𝐶𝐻 50. These works that are projected, they are projected to commence in the latter part of, that were projected to commence in the latter part of 2023, were challenged by some setbacks, and so we are now in the process of securing architectural designs for the work at the cultural village and the work at the cultural complex. We, however, anticipate that not too long from now, in fact, before the end of the first quarter of 2024, work will begin on the repairs to our major cultural facilities. 2, marketing and promotion of the 50th anniversary of 𝐶𝐻. We have started a partnership with the ministry, with the tourism department, the Nevis Tourism Department, to vigorously promote and market the festival in the neighboring islands and further afield in the diaspora, where a large number of our nationals reside. We recognize that air travel in the region has been negatively impacted by the reduced and soon to be discontinued service by the region's major carrier Liburd, but we intend to utilize the emerging inter-island ferry services such as the 𝐂𝐿 and the V2V Express to bring passengers from Montserrat, St. Martin and Anguilla, Saba, St. Eustatius, etc. into Nevis for 𝐶𝐻 50. Our marketing efforts will be further expanded in 2024 to include inviting major influencers to 𝐶𝐻 50. We have seen the huge impact that this emerging marketing strategy has had on promoting festivals around the world. And starting in this February, we will be reaching out to these influencers and inviting them to come and cover the festival. 3, increasing our online and social media presence. We are presently reconstructing the 𝐶𝐻 website, www.𝐶𝐻-nevis.com, to make it more user-friendly in the sense that digital online registration would now be available, where you can register for a booth at the Art, Craft and Food Fair, or to compete in one of the many contests that will be staged as part of 𝐶𝐻 50, C50, from the convenience of your smartphone or other digital devices. The website would now include historical information, as we realize that our primary school students request information about 𝐶𝐻, other community festivals, cultural icons, past winners, traditional folk music, and folk dances. We will expand our social media presence by exploring the latest trends, incorporating new platforms such as TikTok, and increasing the use of Facebook and Instagram stories to reach a wider audience. Additional accommodation for 𝐶𝐻 50. We have had initial meetings with the Ministry of Tourism and the Nevis Tourism Authority to see how best we can have additional accommodation available during 𝐶𝐻 50. These discussions have resulted in a soon-to-be-launched homestay program, which you will hear about in the coming days. Training. As we work to increase and improve our pool of qualified adjudicators. We will, in late March, early April, initiate training in the adjudication of steel pan and soca manner contests. Our focus over the years has been on the adjudication of calypso and pageants. We feel that adequate training has been done in these areas, hence why our focus in 2024 will be on these two key areas. The 𝐶𝐿𝐶urama Secretariat. Over the next 7 months, right up until the start of 𝐶𝐿𝐶urama 50, the Secretariat will be busy engaged with the following. Prepare a calendar of activities for 𝐶𝐿𝐶urama 50. This calendar will be rolled out in 3 or 4 waves or phases. We are targeting the first wave to be released during the first week of February and will feature some of the core activities of the festival. The second wave is projected to be released in early March. Will include fringe activities. That is the activities that will be organized by the private promoters. And the third wave is expected to release in April to coincide with the launch of 𝐶𝐿𝐶urama 50 on April 12th, 2024. Later, as we get into June, we will have the launch of the fourth wave, which would now include all of the activities, both core activities from the committee and our fringe activities. So I invite you to stay tuned to your local media houses as we unveil the calendar of activities over the 4 waves that we are projecting to reveal the events for this year. Secondly, providing quarterly reports to the Nevis Island Administration and the Ministry of Agriculture, Culture et al. On the repairs being done at the venues and the planning of 𝐶𝐿𝐶urama 50. Thirdly, the 𝐶𝐿𝐶urama Secretariat will coordinate meetings of and facilitate requests from the Nevis 𝐶𝐿𝐶urama Committee, thus making the committee's planning much easier. Additionally, the 𝐶𝐿𝐶urama Secretariat will work closely with the members of the 𝐶𝐿𝐶urama Committee to prepare a budget for 𝐶𝐿𝐶urama 50. Accreditation. The Secretariat staff will be actively involved in accrediting key players who will be engaged in coordinating the 𝐶𝐿𝐶urama events. And this is will be a major undertaking because we recognize some shortfalls in the accreditation process over the years. And we have decided this year to step up and have persons properly accredited and have restrictions to persons being able to access certain key areas within our venues. Additionally, dissemination of press releases and other important information to the general public on the staging of 𝐶𝐿𝐶urama 50. The 𝐶𝐿𝐶urama Secretariat will be actively engaged in that. Coordinating the various activities for 𝐶𝐿𝐶urama 50. These include vending at the cultural village, or coordinating the various activities for 𝐶𝐿𝐶urama 50, yes. These would include vending at the cultural village, cultural complex, the art, craft, food fair, street vending, and also we will be looking at improving our street vending operation, as we recognize that street vending in Charlestown over the years has been a nightmare. And so we will be working to bring a much needed improvement to the street vending in Charlestown throughout the entire 𝐶𝐿𝐶urama 50 season. Post C50, the Secretariat will be actively involved in preparing to disseminate prizes to the participants and winners of the festival, preparing subcommittee reports, financial reports, and launching promotions for 𝐶𝐿𝐶urama 50. In conclusion, the theme for today's symposium, Cultivating a Culture of Resilience for Sustainable Nevis, is very fitting. As outlined by the Prominent Secretary in his opening remarks, this theme reflects the commitment of food sustainability, resilience, and promoting eco-friendly practices in agriculture on the island of Nevis. It encourages the adoption of safe farming, fishing methods, the conservation of natural resources, and the development of resilient food production systems. The goal is to foster a balance between agricultural productivity, environmental stewardship, and technological innovation for a more sustainable future of Nevis. This is important as we prepare to host the single biggest, largest event ever to be staged in our island's history. You hear that, Randy? Earlier, I mentioned that hundreds, if not thousands, are expected to descend on our tiny island over July and August. And I want to steal a popular phrase or line from my brother and minister, the Honorable Eric Evelyn. Nevis will sink over July and August. Right, Mr. Minister? Okay. So again, Randy drives home my point. Open Day has never sunk Nevis. Never. It would be important that the Department of Agriculture prepare to feed these persons with locally produced agricultural products. Therefore, I implore the Department of Agriculture to commence the conversations with the crop farmers, livestock farmers, beekeepers, fishers, and other sectors to sustain agricultural production over the third quarter of 2024. So I challenge you, Mr. Director of Agriculture. And with those few remarks, my 9.5 minutes, right? 9.5 minutes, I bring my presentation to a close. I thank you.